I'm going to describe a really bad day in my journey, and it was one of the worst that I had to experience or endure. But in general, we're treated really poorly in Canada when we have a suspected fat disorder because we're seen as just non-compliant dieters, crazy, lazy, menopausal women. Mostly women get these fat disorders, but men get Derkham's disease too and can have lipedema as well. But I went into the office, asked for help, and the doctor stood up from the chair, swinging his arm like an elephant, and says, well, if I hadn't exercised for a whole year, my arm would be falling off too. So you can imagine what that felt like. Here I am in severe pain, and I was mocked, ridiculed, and sent out the door crying. Is that right? No.
Hi, my name is Carmen. I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. I'm 65, living in Canada, and unable to get a proper diagnosis, except for my doctor saying she knows what I have. It's lipedema because she saw it on a TV show. 2 years ago, I was 330 pounds walking with a cane, fat lobes doubling over off of my thighs. I have multiple fatty nodules on my thighs, arms, and on my torso, only with dairy-free keto and regaining mobility have I been able to get to a healthy size. But it's not just me I'm worried about. I have 5 sisters and some are displaying the same symptoms. And I'm worried about my daughter, my 4 granddaughters, census friends and families. We need help with diagnosis in Canada. We shouldn't be going through this alone. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kara, and I live in the West Shore area of Greater Victoria on Vancouver Island, BC, Canada. I was diagnosed recently by Dr. Karen Herbst, but I've found lipomas, multiple painful lipomas, all over my rib cage, my joints, my arms, my legs, and I think even my feet since 2018. I've had regular lipomas before. I know the difference. I know what pain is. And I think the thing that bugs me the most about the healthcare system here in Canada is having to prove suffering, which is ridiculous because apparently we're hysterical women and our word isn't to be taken. I've had lipomas before and they had no pain, so I didn't worry about them. And now, magically, I'm covered in them and no one believes me. It's just ridiculous. So Canada needs to do better. The world needs to do better. We need to recognize all lymphatic, connective tissue, and fat disorders and get help. And that's what these videos are for. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Mara. I have lipedema, or I think that's, I suspect to have it because my thighs and my legs are not normal. They have never been. At this moment of my life, I haven't been diagnosed because my general practitioner doesn't even know what this condition is all about. And when I try to explain that to him, he always laughs and tells me he has never heard about it. I have advanced osteoarthritis in both knees, and I am in permanent pain all the time. So I think it's time for the Canadian community to help us out, to listen to us, to take us into account and not leaving us alone struggling with this. Thank you.
After going to many different doctors and being told that fat was not painful, I was given a referral to a dermatologist who then gave me a clinical diagnosis of Derkham's disease, also known as adipose dolorosa. My family doctor hadn't even heard of this, and she's a pretty good doctor. But since she hadn't even heard of this, how could she help me? That's a problem.
Hi, my name is Tammy. I'm currently waiting to be diagnosed with suspected Derkham's disease. As you can see, I'm tired of people pointing. What's that? What happened? I also have them on my arms. Right there, if you can see it. I don't know if you can, and I've got them on my spine. This is a cry for help. I've got neuropathy on my legs, and it's very hard to even get that diagnosed and get help for in Canada. So, please share my video. We are trying to work together to get help in Canada for our health care. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sean. I'm in my mid-60s and I do believe I have lipedema. I learned about lipedema quite by accident in November of 2020, and since then have spent much of the last year reading, researching, and reaching out to learn more about this. I have all of the symptoms, certainly many of the symptoms. This is a disease. It is not well understood, and it is not our fault. It's genetics. Our bigness is not a result of poor food choices or being lazy. We have learned to cope and deal with this, but we as a group can only do so much. We need some help, we need some support, and we need some understanding from the medical community. I'm advocating not just for myself, family and friends, and all of those others that are yet to follow. Please help us move treatment for lipedema forward.
I cried when I first found out about lipedema. If this was what I had, did that mean it wasn't my fault? I have a science background. I dove into this disease and was excited to show my research to my GP. She blew it off as an internet disease. I joined Facebook groups and followed people like Leslie Keith and Karen Herbst. I started keto, and it worked until I got a second breast cancer diagnosis. Estrogen blockers caused my lipedema to go into overdrive. I now have chronic pain, my mobility is threatened, and I have little control over how my body will feel from day to day. I want proper care, a proper diagnosis, proper surgery paid for by our healthcare plans in Canada. I want medical care that pays attention to the combination of comorbidities that I and women like me have to live with. I need to know how to keep lipedema from taking away however many years I have left.
Here are some lipedema questions I've wrestled with. Why do my legs look so different from others even though I was a dancer? Why do I have dents in my thighs even when I weigh less than 100 pounds? Why do I gain 2 sizes overnight or 30 pounds in 3 weeks with no change in activity level and adherence to a healthy diet? Why do I gain weight after pregnancy and then never be able to lose it again? Why is weight gain in my body from my waist to my knees? Why do I have the fraction of the muscle strength I used to have? Why do I always feel puffy and inflated and inflamed, not just regular fat gain? Why is it that I hurt so much at the slightest touch? Why am I exhausted from so little effort? Why are my upper arms suddenly bigger than my lower arms? Why have my knees disappeared? Why does the tissue under my skin seem bumpy and distorted? Why do my arms and legs feel so heavy? Why do I gain weight so quickly? And even if I do tons of therapies and lose inches, I still weigh the same. Why am I not able to keep up with my life anymore? And why have doctors dismissed all of this for 30 years?
It was quite by accident that I found out I had a lymphatic problem called lipedema. A physiotherapist diagnosed me and was able to send me for fittings for compression stockings right away. When I went to my own family doctor regarding lipedema, the reply was, "I've never heard of it," and had me spell the word out so she could search it on the computer. Since I either leave her office angry or in tears, I will not be returning. That was 2 years ago. I worked diligently to stave off any further development of this disease through my own research and, of course, at my own expense. I really feel for the many ladies who have suffered for too many years not knowing that the problem is not obesity, but a lymphatic disorder. I feel documentation and research needs to be done in this country to make more of a case for our population. It seems that there must be some genetic component that might be traced to ethnicities to help predict the development of lipedema. Good luck in your journey.
Hi there, my name is Teresa Langell and I'm from Nova Scotia, Canada. I was diagnosed with Derkham's 6 years ago now. My biggest problem is finding help for pain relief and finding doctors that understand what we need to be cared for. an extremely painful disease, and it causes problems with other organs as well. So I just ask that someone may be able to help us out or look into it for us, and it'd be nice to have a little extra help. It's a pretty lonely disease for sure.
My name's Deborah. I'm from Sydney, Australia. I've been looking for answers for approximately 8 years as to what's going on in my body. I have multiple lipomas. I have them in my face, the roof of my mouth, my torso, my back, arms, legs, everywhere. Doctors don't know what it is, and if they do, they don't know how to treat it. I've seen many specialists, been called fat, need to exercise. I've even been called psychosomatic, so I'm making it up or it's in my head. I'm concerned about the future for myself, and I'm also concerned for my daughter who's displaying symptoms, and we need help, we need support, and we need to find a treatment. We need more research.
I am a Canadian suffering daily pain. From birth to 40 years of age, I was healthy, active, and underweight. My quality of life changed dramatically when my weight doubled, and I developed large column-like legs, big upper arms, and very painful lipomas in these areas. I was examined by a myriad of doctors, all of whom could not explain my constant pain and body transformation. After 15 years of suffering, I was finally diagnosed with stage 2 lipedema by Dr. Karen Herbst, an endocrinologist in Arizona. I was given a treatment plan that I will follow for life. I was fortunate to live in the USA for several years because my American health care insurance covered my treatments. I was disappointed to learn that none of my necessary treatments are covered in Canada. Lipedema is recognized in Australia, Europe, USA. Why not in Canada?
Good day, my name is Toby. I'm 41, female, Nova Scotia, Canada. I was diagnosed when I was 38 with Dercum's disease. It was a very long process getting this diagnosis, and ever since that day, I have been on my own to treat it as best that I can. I developed a lump in my elbow that within a few years turned into hundreds of lumps, ranging from the sizes of a lemon to a pinhead, that are excruciatingly painful. My inflammation levels are off the charts, and I can't get help anywhere because nobody has even heard of this before. I am hoping that this video will bring some awareness so that the multitude of us in Canada facing fat-based disorders will actually be taken seriously.
Hi. Let's talk lipedema. Yeah, I have it. Do you know what it is? It's an adipose tissue disease, connective tissue disorder, the fat disease. Do you know how hard it is to hear? Go to the gym. Oh, you need weight loss surgery. Exercise more. You should eat better. Maybe you need a dietitian. Have you tried swimming? What about bicycling? I've done it all. I've tried everything there is. Coban wraps. They're annoying. They hurt. Constant pain. It's not fun. Losing your mobility at not even 45 years old? You tell me. I just want to be heard. Canada, help us.
I was active, fairly fit, 75 kilos. And then I got a pain on my rib, which I thought was just from the surfing, lying on my surfboard every weekend because I was active. And it slowly grew, and then I started touching my whole body. And then I could feel lumps all throughout my body. And I went to my doctor, And he said, I've been feeling lumps for 30 years, you don't have lumps. And I said, okay. And at that time I didn't really know what was wrong. But going onto the internet and seeing other people with lumps, I learned.
Hi everyone, my journey started when I was 40. I was lucky to get diagnosed 2 years later with Derkums. I did a lot of research to get to that point, but no doctor has ever offered a word of advice to me. So I did have one specialist even have the nerve to say, since he's never heard of it, it doesn't exist. Well, even with papers in my hand to show him, you know. So we're here to tell you, yes, it does exist, and yes, it does hurt. We're aware of it 24 hours a day. Most doctors refuse to research on our behalf, and I kind of wish I knew why is that. The internet is a click away, but yet we leave our doctor's offices in tears. I will always remain hopeful a cure is found, but right now our goal is just to be recognized, understood, and treated in Canada. I appreciate the medical system, but there needs to be a change of information out there. It's not being accessed, so having a rare and painful condition in Canada does not make us invisible, even though we certainly feel that way. Thanks for listening.
Hello, my name is Catherine Cates, and I live in Oakville, Ontario, where I suffer. I suffer because it took over 10 years to diagnose what I have. Lymphedema, Derkums. I've been to doctors who have laughed at me and misdiagnosed me. I tried to get into the Cleveland Clinic and the Mayo Clinic. Both rejected me. Did my own research asking about the angiolipomas and if angiolipomas were a disease. Derkums came up. I read information. I joined Kim Wilson's Facebook page and group and thought, I am the poster child for this. Please, Canadian medical people, help us. We so rely on you. I'm lucky I got to see Dr. Herbst, but others can't.